This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Miami Dolphins. With that, let's get down to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida as a moment ago the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
As of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. The return man here, Dwayne Harris, and he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. As Derek Carr brings out the Oakland Raiders, let's talk about their Week 2 game, a loss against Denver by 1 point. But for Derek Carr, he had the air-filled opener, but he was just about perfect against that tough Bronco defense, Charles, 29-32.
That's called bouncing back. 288 yards and a touchdown. Not enough to get the Raiders the win. They lose on a late field goal, and they have to get right and soon, although it won't be easy. Their next 3 weeks, they go to Miami, who's undefeated, home for the Cleveland Browns, who believe they should be undefeated, and then they take on the Los Angeles Chargers in L.A., a division rival.
A first carry now from Marshawn Lynch. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Tackle made there by Kiko Alonso. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
Let's highlight a big strength of this team, the offensive line led by Donald Penn, Kelechi Osemele, and Rodney Hudson. All three were Pro Bowlers in 2017, but it didn't translate as well as they wanted on offense. Just 23rd in scoring and a 6-10 record.
On second down, Lynch. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. Taken in at the 22. A second juke. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The 30-year-old Ryan Tannehill bringing out the Miami Dolphins, who are 2-0. And, yes, it's against the Titans and the Jets, so maybe not the top 2 teams in the league. But, hey, they've looked pretty good. And Tannehill in Week 2, 17-23, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. Very efficient.
Yeah, and they really don't care who they beat. They're just glad to get the wins because they missed the playoffs last year, and Tannehill missed the season with a knee injury. And they like the way their schedule is setting up right now. They're home for the Raiders, who are 0-2 at this point. And then they get tested at New England and at Cincinnati, who's off to a hot 2-0 start. But right now, confidence is rising in Miami. and it's because Ryan Tannehill is playing pretty well.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. A look now at the Miami offense.
One of the things I've always enjoyed about watching Kenny Stills play is his passion for the game. You can tell he absolutely loves being out there, has a ball when he's out on the football field. But the other thing, he can fool you. He looks like a slot receiver, but runs great routes from the outside and creates big plays downfield.
Off play action, Tannehill. To the sideline, wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Go, 40!
Out of the gun, Tannehill. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. That'll bring up second down. And let's run through the Dolphins defense.
When Kiko Alonso first made it to the NFL, all I could think about was remembering him playing in college. And there's a wildness to him. There was also a control as well. Always around the football. And when he arrived, you knew that he was there. And then he'd fool you at times, too, because he'd pick off a pass and return it for a touchdown. You say, where did all that speed come from? I thought he was a total package coming out of Oregon.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Carr. And he comes back with one complete. And down he'll go at the 25. That catch good for 5. It's third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Taking it about the 16. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Back now comes the Dolphins offense, and we mentioned that they're 2-0 with wins over the Titans and the Jets. And what Ryan Tannehill has done, and you said he's been effective, He's had some guys out wide that maybe they're not the biggest names wide receiver-wise, but they've been effective too.
Yeah, and they're also not the biggest people. Albert Wilson, Danny Amendola, Kenny Stills, all water bugs, but all finding a way open downfield and in the short zones and then turning into bigger plays. But they should get Devontae Parker back this week. I think that'll help them not just in the red zone, but also just a big target for Ryan Tannehill to throw to go along with those other little guys who are playing really well right now.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Next, receivers don't spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Play action. It's Tannehill. And that'll be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
30!
Now it's Tannehill off the bootleg. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And there's a nice catch by Mike Gesicki, the rookie out of Penn State. And partner, you saw him when you were covering Big Ten football. He didn't block very many people, but that's not what they asked him to do. They asked him to go downfield and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Yeah, absolutely right, and he can do it with the best of them.
And how about him in his high school video? Did you ever see any of that with him dunking basketballs and spiking volleyballs? His athletic ability is off the charts.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 41. Tannehill hands to Drake. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down. On 1st down, Drake. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Right, didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive. And normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. 2 running plays go backwards. So what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And the Raiders pick it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. He'll dump it off complete to Lynch. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Carr now to throw. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A Raiders 1st down. Carr hooking up with Cook.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming, pick them up, pick them up. And someone jumped.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, Lynch. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. First carry for Frank Gore back home here in Miami. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, in on the stop.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Drake off the give from Tannehill. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And he finds Stills, complete. Tannehill finding Stills, and it's a Dolphin first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. Here's Tannehill. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Tannehill. Over the middle, it's Amendola. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A Dolphin first down as Tannehill is on target to the former Patriot Danny Amendola.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Jonathan Hankins breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Dolphins on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. Going for the deep ball. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. 0-0 our score, and we'll be back to South Florida after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So out come the Raiders. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. Now a play fake here on first down. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And this is caught by Cooper for a Raider touchdown. Amari Cooper, 53 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now Mike Nugent for the extra point. Nugent hits the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. Now it's Nugent out to kick it away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start the drive with Drake. Oh, spinning away. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Tannehill. And it's caught by Parker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, 26 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Tannehill now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Back to throw, Tannehill. On the left side, this is Stills. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Well, after what we just saw, we know that with 3rd down coming up, this is not a gimme for the offense. They've got to figure out what they want to do. Do they challenge their offensive line and try and run it? Or do they go ahead and concede that this is a tough defense and put it in the air?
Hey, 20!
On 3rd and short, Drake. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 54 yards away. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty. But there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal.
Get down! 180!
On play action, now Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Robert Quinn. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
On second down, here's Carr. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
The Raiders on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Carr. He finds Roberts, complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Seth Roberts, 48 yards. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Nugent on now for the extra point. Nugent tacking on the PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Now it's Nugent out to kick it away. The return man is Grant. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still first down.
Last year, the Dolphins were the 2nd most penalized team in the NFL, nearly 9 a game, and now they've got 1st and 15. Following the penalty, it's Gore. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. second down, here's Tannehill. And throw right side complete to Parker. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here's Matt Hawk now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. Lets it go for Nelson. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr gives to Lynch on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Completes it right side to Cooper. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been terrific so far. This is taken at about the 14. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul-searching now. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. Leon Hall, the former Michigan man, in on the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Go, go, lady!
Here's Tannehill now on second down. And that's incomplete. He was looking for Parker that time, and it's 3rd and 5. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5.
Watch 32. Go, go, 35.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And Stills over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Tannehill now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10.
Hey, lady! Hot!
Now a handoff for Drake. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Hot! 20! Go, 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 go!
Tannehill now to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, lady!
Out of the gun, Tannehill. And Amendola with a catch. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 36.
Let's go. Lady!
On the give, this is Drake. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Hey, lady! Hot!
Off play action, Tannehill. And some room to work. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
30!
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe the Dolphin got going a little early.
False start, offense.
Well, it's a 3rd and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down.
Let's go.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Jason Sanders now for the Miami field goal. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. Sanders' kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up, but the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. Here's Harris to return it. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He is putting on a show in this 2nd quarter, racking up the receiving yards as he has a first down. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Carr now on first down. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 more there and another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Carr now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Down. 185. What's up? What's up?
Again, they'll throw with Carr. And that's complete. It's the Carr to Cooper connection. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Carl come up here with a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now Carr again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Again, it's Carr. He completes it to Jordy Nelson. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Get down, get down. 180.
Carr to throw again. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. 9 yards on the play and a 1st down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And Nugent puts it through, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Back out Nugent now after the field goal as he'll send it away. Here comes Grant on the return. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We want to remind you that new this year in regular season games, I'll take you around the NFL, give you stats and scores from games in progress, as well as look back at games that have already been completed. So keep an eye out for that, but for now, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. The return man is Grant. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Running, it's Drake. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Tannehill now, the option left. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a third down.
Well, anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Here's Tannehill. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. Third and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Now Drake. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Draw play. Tannehill gives to Drake. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Let's go.
Here's Tannehill. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
They go play action here on first down. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run with Drake. And he's brought down. A Miami first down. That one going for a gain of 11.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Back to the ground, this time with Gore. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. It's caught outright, Amendola. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. Back to throw, Tannehill. Now they go screen, it's complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Jason Sanders now for the Miami field goal. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And that's off the left upright, but it caroms right in. How about that? The kick is good. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So put 3 on the board. A little bit of a hook on the driver that time. Looked a little bit like you, Charles, over on the 8th at Windermere.
You know me too well, partner. Except that he got his to hit a tree and kick back into the fairway.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. Here's Harris to return it. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, we don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They run again on first down, Lynch. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Carr gives to Marshawn. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. Cooper's got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A Raider first down as Carr finds Cooper.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 43. Carr. His throw incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. They had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, That's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start on the ground with Gore. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. Wide open receiver, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Tannehill now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Well, we got a second here after that incompletion. Let's have a little fun. I know you saw Ryan Fitzpatrick's get-up in the post-game press conference after week 2.
And we're not talking about the beard this time.
No, well, that was part of the ensemble.
We're talking about the trappings, aren't we?
How about that outfit? Those were Deshaun Jackson's clothes, is that right?
My understanding. Clothes, jewelry, shades, the whole deal. He came out and paid homage to his guy who got him a 75-yard touchdown pass in the game, and everyone had a ball with it. Media, team, Fitzpatrick, you name it. I'm sure Deshaun Jackson got kicked out of it as well. Personally, I thought he raided your closet because when I saw him come out, I said, hold on a second. That's how Brandon dresses when we leave a ball game.
My favorite thing, though, from all of this was the social media posts that had 2 different pictures. On the left, it was his freshman year at Harvard. Looked like the All-American boy. And then that press conference photo on the right. You want to talk about the alter ego of somebody? That was it right there. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. To the air again, Tannehill. He dumps it off to Dre. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 20. They start the drive with Lynch, and he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Completes it right side to Cooper. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. Here it's 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, it's Carr. It's caught, Nelson. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. The 10th carry of the game for Marshawn Lynch. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Raiders on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3. Shotgun now for Carr. They dump it off to Lynch. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit.
Oh, pressure comes, and the Dolphins block it. And they'll wind up taking over there in their own territory inside the 40. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Out of the gun, Tannehill. He goes underneath to Drake. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
When that ball was snapped, they were counting on it being now a one-possession game. Instead, the block occurs. That changes the whole mindset for them. And if you're the guys who just blocked it, you're floating off the field right now. Big-time play.
Yeah, big-time play. Could have been a one-score game. Instead, it stays 2 scores. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. He's been a load for them to handle defensively. I know that much.
But look at him. He's got 7 catches on the game, and he's starting to shred them a little bit because not only is he catching them, he's picking up good yardage, keeping the chains moving, ball control, you name it. This big guy, what did you say? He's been a load for them to handle?
That's right.
Agreed.
This has 7 catches, as you said, over 100 yards. So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. To throw his car. And his throw is incomplete. The tight end, Lee Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On the handoff, Lynch. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Carr. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Carr now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Get down.
Now Carr. It's caught by Roberts. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Operating from the gun. Carr in the middle of the field. He's got Nelson. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And that is incomplete.
See, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 54 yards away. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Partner, I think they saw something there. I mean, they came from the right side deliberately, and you know there's always a designated guy who goes and blocks it, but it's the rest of his teammates that get him free.
And out come the Dolphins now. So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. From the gun, here's Tannehill. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Tannehill. Over the middle, it's Amendola. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On first down, Tannehill. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them attack right here on this play.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. On 1st and goal, Drake. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Now it's Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
The kick by Sanders is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Lynch running the counter. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Jordan Phillips is the one on the stop. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll run it. Here's Lynch. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time, we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Here now, Johnny Townsend. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
4 down. 30 hot.
Tannehill on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He couldn't hook up with Amendola there, and it's second down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Tannehill now to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On first down, it's Tannehill. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They go play action here on first down. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Bruce Irvin in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Waiting.
Tannehill. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Let's go. Got 20.
Back to throw, Tannehill. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. To throw, it's Carr. And Cooper's got a big game going. That's complete again. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down, Lynch. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. On the give, this is Lynch. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. First down, the run with Lynch. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Part of of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends. You're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Handoff comes to Lynch. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. And with that, we sign off from Miami.